for Algebra 2. In this video we're looking at tangent squared x over tangent squared x plus 1, and we're proving that this equals sine squared x. So let's take a look at this. So I'm going to put my focus on the left side of this equation, and I'm looking at tangent squared x on both of those tangent squared x, both in the numerator and denominator position. And I notice that on the right side that I have a sine squared x. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to transform my tangent squared x to the identity that I know has sine in it. So I'm going to change it to sine squared x over cosine squared x, and the same thing to the bottom. And this is what I end up with. So let me back up just a bit so you can see that transformation happen. Again, tangent squared x equals sine squared x over cosine squared x, and I do the same thing to the numerator, and that's what I end up with. So I'm going to turn my focus now on the denominator position on the left side. In the denominator position I have sine squared x divided by cosine squared x plus 1. And I'm looking at that 1 because I want to transform that 1 into something that will mix in with the left term, sine squared x over cosine squared x. So that 1 can literally turn into anything, so I'm going to transform it into something that will help me. So you'll notice that I change 1 into cosine squared x over cosine squared x. Now the reason why I chose that, now again this still equals 1, so that's not an issue. I haven't broken any math rules by doing that, but you'll notice the reason why I did that is because they have the same denominator. And since they have the same denominator, I can actually mix in these two fractions together, giving me this. Actually, here it is. Okay, see that? So I have the same denominator, so now I end up with sine squared x plus cosine squared x. Now hopefully that reminds you of another trig identity. I'll have it posted up here on the right hand corner. So that identity, sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. So now I'm left with this remaining term, and I'm going to clean that up on the top there. So on the square I have essentially the same thing on the left side of my equation. I have the same thing up in my square. So it's sine squared x over cosine squared x divided by 1 over cosine squared x. And if you know the rules of dividing fractions, I want to change that into a multiplication problem, which means I have to get the reciprocal of the other term, of the right term. Now I can mix both of these together. So I'm going to now that I have what I want, I'm going to replace it with the problem that I have at the bottom. There it is. So as you can see here, with my multiplication problem, now I can simplify this even further, and I can cancel out my cosine squared x terms, and I'm left with this. And as you know, anything over 1 equals itself, which means I have sine squared over x, which equals sine squared over x. Okay, well, I hope this helped, and good luck in your studying.